As we have got in the bottom right corner of the map, our blue Zerg player, this is Rogue. Top left, red Terran player is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. Game 1, best of 5 TvZ lower bracket final winner will advance to play Max Packs in a best of 7 grand final. Max Packs will start that series with a 1-0 lead. As we go into this series with Clem and Rogue, Clem coming out of that reverse sweep loss to Max Packs. That is a little bit rough and brutal. We'll see if he can get his mental back on track. I'm very excited to see if Rogue has anything in particular planned here. Jumping back to what just happened just before we got into this game, a few subs, a bunch of gifted subs coming in from Primate in the chat, going out to Gabagoob, Vandrad, Row9632145, number. I lost track of the numbers halfway through, sorry. Cheat Arpia, AlEkF9292, Mr. Pusika, I'm Rick Delf, 12741, Trilgil, and Dr. Spaceman 7997. Thank you so much, Primate, for the 10 gifted subs. And Hypercontract says, thank you for the content over the years, Wardy. Love your work. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for subbing yourself, mate. Really appreciate it as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. All right, Rogue Clem in the lower bracket finals, guys. So Clem loses. That's why he's playing again, because he lost. He plays again in the lower bracket finals now. Let's just have ourselves the Ripper coming up, SCV on the way. Command Center Depot coming up, getting set to go. Thanks, Sub says slowly. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate the support. It's been an amazing couple of weeks on the stream, really trying to keep the momentum going. We've had a lot of great events lately. We've been streaming a lot of hours again. Hopefully you guys are feeling it and enjoying it, and yeah, just enjoying having consistent WardiTV action back on track. I'm definitely enjoying bringing it to you guys. I really have had a blast the last couple of weeks as our Reaper is going to fire away. A couple of those lings are going to get nibbled and blasted. A little grenade goes down as well to push a few of those over. As Primate going to come in with their own resub as well for the 30 months. Welcome back, mate. I was going to say, I saw you with the 10 gift, and I was like, you don't even have a sub yourself. Surely someone's going to get you. You got yourself. Thank you so much for the 30, mate. Thank you. There's a couple of Reapers continue in. A little grenade or two going down. The Queen getting bopped. The Reapers continue to pull back a little bit. One of these Reapers is super low, but Clem is going to micro well as he comes back in. Daring, isn't he? As he comes back in with those Reapers, he is not afraid to kind of just go and commit and get a little bit more damage than most players might try and find. The Ling speed is building up from Rogue, so we get that Ling speed completed. The drones and the Queen coming up and online. Hatchery coming through as well. Those Reapers will hit that hatch for a few additional moments. And the command center is coming up. The couple of Hellions are still coming around. And our Zerglings moving back out into the top. Gonna go chasing after those couple of Reapers. The Reapers gonna get chased. The Hellions are gonna be there. Help to push those Lings away and keep those out of the equation for the moment. Yeah, a couple of Hellions on the way out. The SCVs are building. The Orbital coming through. Starport is building as well on the side of Clem, so we get that all on the way up. Hellions gonna shoot and hit those that hatchery for a little bit. It's going to get taken out. Just going to be seeing the stim pack starting. 9, 10 drones continue to come in. A Queen continues by as well. Make it a couple of Queens as our group teamers continue into action. Stim pack halfway done. Again, the few Marines still coming about. The SCV is on the way through. It's going to be having those Hellions continuing to get in at the front there. So 4 Hellions and a couple of Reapers continue to come about currently. Queen's firing up some shots. The Hellions get turned the other way. All the command would love to try and get in position there on that third base, trying to get settled. A few Hellions and the Reapers are going to get turned around as well. Well, this TvZ is, I guess it's not really that much slower going than the TVP, but not too much happening early 5 minutes. 2 Lings went down. Obviously, both players playing well, keeping their units alive, not letting anything crazy happen. Clem really made the most out of his first couple of Reapers trying to get a Queen, but that never went to work. There's actually a big supply block for Rogue at a bad time as Clem's moving across the map, so any delay on unit production here could become very costly if you're not careful. So that's definitely one thing to be worried about, is that Marines are going to step up. Hellbat's stepping in. The couple of Reapers are going to get bounced. Queen's taking damage. The Lings coming from the other side. The Hellbats will continue to sit there, and those Lings will be going down. Those Lings just melted. The fact we've got some Hellbats here is huge. Hellbats plus the few Marines to kind of damage them up, and combined, they really do shred there. As now the Lings continue forward, the Hellbat, Marines, and Reapers continue to back away for the moment. Getting out of there. Once again, the Baneling Nest is coming online. The melee upgrades continue to produce. Well, the upgrades continue into play. The burrow's still coming up. Bane Nest is about halfway done. Additional links still coming by as well. Hatchery in production. Factory gonna drop in. I'm gonna drop another refinery into the natural, or into the third base, sorry. So 3 bases. I'm gonna have fully set. Clem put himself in the lead off that previous attack, but he doesn't finish off or anything just yet. He's gonna start dropping around. Let's see if some of these future drops and so on may actually be enough to push Rogue over the edge on this game 1, because already, 16 supply behind. There's definitely a realistic chance that some of these drops could do some serious damage. The good thing for Rogue is he does have fast upgrades. Currently 1-1 to 0-0, and he will have a timing window where he'll be 2-2 to 1-1 as well. So yeah, some parts of this actually very nice, as Medivacs will just have to lift up away from that little bit of Ling Bane, so Rogue continues to play defense. A pretty good defense so far, as our Medivacs load up once more. We're going to step forward. A couple creep teamers going down. The Lings going to come and try and play wrap around here as well. The Lings continue to run in. Marines taking damage. Just going to see the Marines lifting back into the Medivacs, and the Banes showing up there as well. A couple of Widow Mines continuing out as we speak, so bringing all of that through. Marines and Medivacs continuing around the bottom. Infestation bid coming up. Extra Lings all on the way. Again, 2-2 coming about. The Baneling Overseer. Bit of everything just continues to come in for now. I think Bane comes across. A couple of Bane's going to get target fight. No, he jumped away from it. He got some of the Banes, but not all of them. Widow Mine is going to go and jump onto the Queen, as we just have the Medivac still moving about here. Trying to find something. Clem playing 2 different sides. Eventually, Clem will probably feel comfortable to bring a larger, kind of one big army onto the map as well. Right now, you get rid of some creep tumors. You just push Rogue back a little bit here and there. Even a grenade going down. Get rid of those Banelings as well. Again, decent target fire. I think he didn't target fire the second, so it did connect on his Marines. Could have been much worse, though, as the Marines now drop into this corner, and these Lings are going to still try and battle through. Marines will continue to stim and trade against as many Lings as possible there, doing everything that they can. Now the Ling's going to go across the map. Widow Mines are going to get burrowed up. Bang, bang, and bang. A bunch of those Lings will start to drop. The Marines continue to kite backward, and a couple more Banelings will get taken out as well. And Ling Bane continuing around on that left-hand side, moving up this left side of the map and figuring out what the next step of this might be. It's going to be actually going for a big commitment here. Rogue does not have that many units, though. I do not think Rogue is... I mean, he might succeed in getting some workers here, but if Clem, once Clem cleans these units up, Rogue's going to have basically nothing across the map, because he's going to give up all these units, chasing down SCVs. Don't get me wrong, 12 workers, 13, 14 is nice, but like I say, Clem is knowledgeable enough in this game to say, right, I see what you've just done. I'm going across the map. I'm going to go put some damage in. I'm going to go fight. I'm not going to chill out at all. I definitely think we can see what Clem's plan is going to be as our Ling Bane Queen continues into play. The Hive coming up as well. 2-2 is about to finish on the side of Clem, so just continue to bring that into play. Ling Bane's still moving over. Our Hive is about halfway done. Hydralisks coming through as well. Widow Mines just going to fire up a few more of those Zerglings going down. Widow Mine shots still committing. Rest of the lane vein still moving through, and the medevac's loading up once again to back away. Hive coming up also. The Libs, Ghosts, and Marines continue to produce. Back and forth just continues. A couple of those Liberators still continuing about as well, so just having Clem continue to establish tech on the map. 200 supply to 132, and with the teched up army is very likely just to overrun his opponent very shortly. Fire's going to be fighting, Overlord taking damage. And continues to shoot again, the feelings. Continuing to fight, as we're just going to see our scan coming down again. Effects continue to come through, just going to have ourselves the Lings continue to come about also. The +3 attack, the fusion core coming up. Vayne is going to run through. It's going to be seen our bio coming across, the ghosts coming over. We do have ourselves the see a couple of Widow Mines going off as well. Liberator just going to get grabbed there and taken down. Now the rest of this bio ghost going back across the map as the seismic spines is halfway done currently. Again, +1 missiles, +3 carapace, all of that continuing in there. Widow Mine burrows over here. Should target fire the drones, but Clem does not. So a little mistake from him, right? Could have just been some more damage dealt. Vayne's still moving up. Clem's just going to have way too much, and in the end, Rogue is going to end up GGing out. Clem will take the first game of this best of 5. As Clem has already established the lead here with that 1-0 advantage. We'll see if he can make that anything further. As we have in the bottom left-hand side, there's going to be the blue Zerg player looking to bounce back in the series on Dynasty. It is going to be Rogue. Top right, it is going to be our Red Terran player representing Team Liquid. We have Clem. Game 2 of this series then as we get set up. And yeah, I guess questions in terms of just how exactly is this going to play out. Especially wondering if Clem is going to take the gold, if Rogue is going to take the gold, right? There's definitely a few things you can kind of look at here. Figure those things around. And about, just going to be having ourselves the barracks finishing up in a moment. Second barracks as well. So Clem's actually going to go 2 racks opening. Some pressure from him perhaps, and then expand to the gold base on the back of the Reapers. Reapers are going to start moving out then, so we will see the first one leading the charge down toward that bottom left-hand side, trying to get set up for the early minutes. We're just going to dive through. It's going to be seeing the drone taking some damage. A few Lings coming across. seeing ourselves with that Reaper. It's going to be 5 minutes. The third hatchery going to start getting some shots at the moment, getting some damage done. And hatchery taking some hits as a couple queens continue over. Another Reaper moving over as well. Just hitting that hatchery, damage being dealt. Just going to be getting some shots off as we are going to have ourselves. Queen's going to fire Reapers, taking some shots too. Just going to be seeing that queen going down. So that's actually nice. Clem already grabbing a queen here on this initial bit of a defense of Rogue, which is not going as well as he would like it to. It's going to keep the hatchery on the third base alive, but took quite a lot of shots. Obviously, you're down a queen. I'd say that Clem's pretty content with how things have turned out over the first few minutes. Grenade drops. Gonna be seeing our Ling still chasing. SCV's over toward the gold base. Stimpack coming through. A few more Marines coming up. Starport on the way up as well. Orbital Command coming up. A drone coming through. The drones and the queens continue to come about. Again, that Stimpack is about to be done on the side of Clem. Medevacs and Marines coming through. The engineering bay getting built. Make a double engineering bay for the moment. As our orbital moves down to the low ground, so that third base continue to come online. We get all of that going here. Nothing's still in the center as the Medevacs move toward the bottom left-hand side. It's just going to go journeying out across to the bottom left again. Lair coming through, the Lings and the Roaches all on the way as well, bringing all of that online. Marines will drop off. Maybe a scan, a couple of creep teamers get taken out as well. Just going to be seeing our Lings start to move up as we are going to be seeing one creep teamer going down. Another creep teamer going down. Lings and Queens moving about also, just trying to see what the plan may be. As again, another Rax will finish very shortly. Those Eva Chambers still coming up from Rogue. And himself the chance to play upgrades on the back of his Roaches. I don't hate that this is a Roach game. Something different already. I mean, I think that takes a step in the right direction for where I'm more comfortable with Rogue having a chance to win a game against Clem. But I do wonder if this is going to be like, we're just going to go 1-1 missiles and hit a big Roach timing. But I'm not sure if that's necessarily the answer either, as obviously these couple of Roaches here trying to harass around. Carapace starts waiting on the second Evo Chamber to be brought into play, just in case we maybe try and go melee and it's just going to be like Ravager Ling. Yeah, it's going to be missiles, so at least Roach Ravager just for the moment. And like I say, the question really is just how many drones to rebuild, but to be fair, already 6.5 minutes in game, we're already going to 67 workers. It's just going to become macro Roach Ravager. That probably leads us into Roach Ravager Lurker eventually. But still need to kind of take some time to get there. Obviously, tech in toward that hive, the Lurker Den, the Hydra Den. Lots of pieces of the puzzle to fit together before we can really make a complete claim as to what Rogue is going to be trying to do. So the hatchery sets up in that top left corner. Another depot just going to come down. The Infestation Pit and Hydra Den both on the way. 11 Roaches in production. Again, 1-1 missile upgrades. And that Roach speed coming online also here. Impacts on the move. We've seen them coming up top. A few Marines gathering together as well. Just going to see our stim in. Well, Roach is already taking some damage. The Viking going down. Medevacs going to get turned away up to the top as well here. And this is going to go straight into this mineral line. SCVs are going to get grabbed straight away. The Bioforce coming through as well as 6 SCVs go down, make it 7-8. Now the tanks continue to fire. Another mule drops back into the natural. I mean, Clem loses some workers to the run by, but overall, looking pretty safe. There's the hive on the way up. Oh, Hydrogen. Oh, no, the Hydrogen's there. Yeah. So he is going to just head in towards lurkers. Roach Ravager into the kind of like Roach Hydra lurker forces. It's a fine way to play. I do always feel as though it's pretty nice for the Terran to some extent because you're playing against someone who you just need to build tanks against. Like, tanks really cover you against the Roach Ravager phase and the lurker phase. It's not like Lingbane Hydra where kind of mines can sometimes be very good against the Lingbane portion, but then the lurkers come up and you kind of don't want mines anymore. But then you also go into tanks and the Ling's going to kind of still make your life miserable. Like, it's much tougher to balance your army then. Clem was on 8 racks, but I think realizing what the army composition of his opponent is, he's going to say, okay, 8 racks pushing is not going to work, so let's just use these drops to try and move around the map, get rid of some creep spread, take control a little bit, and then I'm going to build my 4th base instead. Clem has always been a player who's never been afraid to kind of be 8 racksing, and then be like, you know what, this 8 racks isn't going to cut it, and just build the 4th base. He did that a lot in the past. It was actually one of the cool things about watching Clem play a lot of the games that he played. Marine's just going to load back up. I'm just going to lift up and move to the top. We got the Medivacs top left-hand corner looking to come back in again, trying to come through once more here. As the Vipers come online, the Grew Spines and the Seismic Spines coming up as well. Lots of range upgrades. Even Vipers with the spellcasting obviously will be a big advantage and a big step in the right direction for Rogue. It puts his army, like I say, a step towards where it really wants to be, kind of into the future of this game as well. So that should also be fairly large positive, as our Marines are going to stem it up, move forward themselves. Tanks coming across here from Clem, going to be able to get in position and potentially get a siege up in the next few moments. So Clem's still being aggro. I mean, this is pre-lurker upgrades, so there is potential, and I mean, especially if we just get sieged up immediately. If Rogue has been spending a lot of his gas on the lurkers and they're not really fully set to go, this could be Clem's army looking very scary. Like I say, Ghost Academy's building, so in the future you'll have some Ghosts to help him out, but he's going to kill a base top left. Loads of drops as well from the main base. They're going to come down the bottom. The Medivacs top left there, you can see, are just kind of lurking, waiting for their chance, but they're probably going to get parasitic bombed. And it looks as though at least one will go down. They only had one Marine in. The other that actually did eat the parasitic bomb is going to be healthy enough to probably survive that, but will obviously be hurt for later, as a couple of lurkers do not even get the chance to take to the field. Infestation Pit falls as well. Tanks just pushing up, and there's going to be another base lost from Rogue, as he has no stoppage against Clem's units right now. Clem just keeps on walking on forward, no resistance. Hatchery bottom side is now Clem's about to make it 3 hatcheries in about 3 minutes. Well, not even 3 minutes, probably in about 30 seconds, but actually this one just lived, as the transfusion and the units coming through to push the lift off. Parasitic bombs, they're going to force the unload once again. Getting a little bit messy, right, as Rogue, his gold base now going to be under fire instead. He's already down to just, well, 4 hatcheries with that gold base not currently mining. So 3 mining bases, a 4th hatchery up, so he has some extra production. But obviously this hatch is so low, it's going to be a target for Clem, and if you can get rid of it, Rogue is going to struggle, as Clem did lose a good amount of supply here. It's not like he's still maxed out while Rogue dropped to 130, but he still has a comfortable lead with 157 to 139, suggesting that Clem's army is absolutely going to be good enough to contest with Rogues, especially as we have the same work account, which is obviously not good for Rogue either, because you're probably expecting Clem to continue to trade efficiently, and even if not completely efficiently, which he is, by the way, 7k to 11k resources lost, but even then, just Clem has the mules, so he will be mining more than the Zerg at this point of the game. Rogue is maybe not as good as Dog at playing out the scrappy kind of low eco situations, but it's not like he's unfamiliar to being here. I just don't know if this is the kind of scrappy low eco situation you play out from, because, like I say, it's not... The Terran player has not been included in that portion of the game. You've not done anything to him in this. He killed, what, 8 SCVs in that run by? And it's only been 9 dead in the overall game, so that one run by is all of your worker damage done so far. As our +3 missiles and our drones continue to come up. Just having ourselves the lurkers still lowered up on this high ground. Hatcheries coming through, Ghosts coming online, 3 upgrades coming up as well. A couple of crew teamers will begin to get dropped. We're going to see our lurkers, Roaches, Hydras stepping forward. Marines getting some stims off, couple snipes lining up as well. Going to hit that queen, it's going to go down. Once she gets taken out, as it has a little bit of damage on it. Supplies are going to even out, but again, Clem now has obviously the Ghosts, and he's really done so much damage to Rogue. Rogue stabilizing here is going to be a little bit of a miracle, honestly. Luck is going to be there. Ghost get turns around again. Just going to be seeing how it. Just continue to come about. A little parasitic bomb or two coming in. The medevac's getting chased away currently. It's a lot of lurkers going down. It's going to see some bio going forward. Stepping back, a couple siege tanks coming back through also, getting resettled here. And we do have Clem. I mean, he's not going to be able to push through. Rogue is going to be able to hold him off for the moment, at the very least. Nice network gets taken out. Just going to have ourselves the 3-3 upgrade still building on the side of Clem. So he brings those up. Ghost +2 vehicle weapons coming in also. Viking's going to hit that overseer and deal some more damage. Overseer going to get taken down. Unit's still pressing forward. Couple more snipes coming through. The Roach is still taking damage as well. We are going to be seeing lurkers popping out in Clem's natural. So Clem's let this have a chance or two build up here on the side of Rogue, because lurkers in the natural are going to be super fun to deal with. So yeah, not denying that Knight is going to be problematic. Units at the moment absolutely already struggling with this, although no high ground vision, I don't believe. The Overseer's down. No high ground vision actually, so you could just shoot from the high ground onto those lurkers. Could be an easy way to kind of clean them up, as Clem has to pull back and deal with this. The orbital's on fire. A lot of SCVs already lost for Clem as well, so again, just has to go back home and figure this out right now. And get this back on track as our ghosts gather up in the main base. Tanks kind of getting wrapped around by a few Zerglings there. One tank going down. Next tank just about surviving. He's going to fire up a couple of snipes. Going to be coming through. The lurk is going to take some big hits. So just going to be seeing a bunch of those lurkers going down. I'm just going to get across. Just going to be seeing the medevacs loading up, and they're going to retreat away. These lurkers still here, really showing you how powerful his position is. Clem's on an eco problem. Army supply is fine. Probably would have liked to have it a bit higher, but only 52 SCVs left. Not much of a bank in play. He's going to get across here and hit this gold base, which is actually being mined from both sides. The Overseers all getting taken out. Now, that's actually kind of expensive. It may not seem it, but Overseers do not come freely. That's quite a lot of gas that just got sniped out of the sky, like 600 plus. Still chilling here, just going to be seeing another scan coming down. That Knight is on the move for a moment. Like it's going to step forward. It's going to be seeing those SCVs in some trouble as the Planetary Fortress is going to take a bit of a beating. Rogue. An interesting moment because he's actually getting engaged from both sides. A lot of the lurkers in the back not joining in. Because Clem's kind of fighting top and bottom, the fact that Rogue's army is spread out left through right of the map is actually not good for him. A lot of the time it's good to have depth, but Clem wasn't really attacking right to left. He was, like I say, enclosing from top and bottom there, so he didn't really see the rest of the lurkers come into play. That makes that a bit of a better fight for Clem than it maybe should have been. Another Knight in his natural, though. Clem is losing control of this game, guys. I mean, his economy is not good enough to keep up with this, and while his army supply is good, he can only really rebuild a few times here and there, bits and pieces. It's not even rebuilding, like, he's not even getting maxed out. And Rogue has enough group spread and kind of infrastructure around the map, I think, to pretty much just guarantee that he won't die. He's building 9 more lurkers too, like, he just won't die. before he spends more money to rebuild units, right? Yeah, Lurk is still coming up, +2 melee coming through. The Ling Hydra gonna open up a set of rocks here on the top side. Marine's gonna stim about. Ghosts juicing on through. +2 melee gonna be finishing up shortly. A couple Lings and the hatcheries all coming up. The army still pressing forward. And that +2 melee gonna be coming in from Rogue in a moment. Nidus network building as well. Biocannel coming in from a couple of different sides, trying to see what else we can do. Gonna see the bio on the bottom, just gonna come through and jump onto that hatchery as well. Looks like he's gonna burrow up again. Let's see the siege tank still dropping. We do have ourselves a couple of ghosts, marines, marauder. Still trying to build up from Clem. He's continuing to make a pretty good defense of it, but the problem is his main base is getting exposed now. A little counterattack here is actually getting rid of a lot of the Lings that are showing up defensively, so that might be able to continue through. Ghosts turn out to be very good against Lings. Well, we knew that. Usually you don't see that many Lings sent in on repeat, basically, as we are going to see a single Hydra mixed in there now. The Lings on the better surround. Is it good enough? Hard to see, but the Ghosts there are going to hold that ground for a little bit before Clem lifts up. He's still on an army supply lead, but he has to just go, go, go. I don't think there's a world where slowing down is going to be good for you at all. Additional Hydras in production. 5 additional Lurkers coming up. Ghost will come forward and snipe down that Lurker as well. It's just going to be able to take that straight out here as the medevac loads and will go up around to the top side. So medevac going to get to the top. The Nidus network over there, maybe worth clearing out. Clem did mine out his gold base, so that location not as important as it once was. I thought Rogue had kind of a clasp on this game, but you know, the more I let this settle down, the less I really think so. Rogue is still mining a lot, but he's yet to show us the ability to take fights, which is going to punish Clem for the position he's in. 14,000 resources lost is the advantage for Clem. This is nice. I mean, Nidus in the main base, between the 2 tanks that were sieged there, okay. That's going to knock down a lot of Clem's production. That's going to make it a lot more awkward for Clem. He's going to lose Marines over here, busy dealing with other things. He moves that drop just too late to save it. We do have ourselves a Lurkers continue to get active. Barracks taking a lot of damage. I mean, all of his production basically just died. Here come the Ghosts, as the Overseer farm is going to come through though as well. And those Ghosts might just end up dying right now as the Overseer is set up. The Lurkers will continue to fire up. Not a lot of Ghosts able to keep on firing. The Nidus in the main base is going to be the knife in the back for Clem eventually. You know, it was the Nidus in the natural that really opened this game up and gave Rogue an opportunity in the first place, but yeah, he absolute bangers. It has been a great set of matches in that first series, now in this one, Grand Finals, with a 1-0 lead for Max Packs coming up against the winner of this when this is done. Been a great game so far. Let's have in the bottom right our blue Zerg. This is going to be Rogue. Top left is going to be our red Terran. It is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. Alright then, we get into this game 3. Do you feel like overall Clem putting himself in better positions and going to make this tough for Rogue? But Rogue clearly shown us that all he needs is a break or two, and he absolutely has got the abilities to win these games. And like I say, in that last game, the break was just that Nidus in the natural. It can be as simple as that. There's obviously still got to make things happen. A couple of barracks on the way here from Clem as he looks to play the multi-Rax Reaper opening, so that's going to be his starting point for the moment. And we get that ready to go as the Reaper will start on through. So bringing that into play, getting that up and running. Couple of Reapers building. Launch gas pool coming up. And get this ready to go. A few moments of readying ourselves here. Reaper shots, damage being dealt, so a few hits coming through for a couple of moments. And it's going to be seeing our back and forth continuing as a couple of those Reapers continue in. Getting some damage done. So yeah, a few shots continue through, and a couple of queens coming about. Grenade goes down, pushes that queen away. Need to go back and forth for a few moments. Once with the additional Reaper showing up, we're likely to see a little bit more damage coming out of this over the next little while as well. As a grenade or two comes down, and the queens for the moment, again, just have to back it up. And those Reapers are going to do just that as well, backing it up. As Clem clearly likes this ability of taking control early, slowing down that expansion of his opponent, and going from there. Again, third map of this best of 5, another grenade drops in to keep this queen bouncing going, and Les starts up now from rogue early. Going to open the door into all of those options, as that could be a Spire. Well, that's really all I think of, actually. Spire, 2-base Spire. What else can we really 2-base Link Queen Nidus all in, maybe? He has gas, though. Roach run in the Evo chamber. Ooh. 2-base Roaches into a late third. Also a chance to see that, perhaps. Reapers and Hellions going to move about, just going to try and come across here. Let's see what we can do. Roach is coming up with Overlord speed as well. Kind of feels like a Roach Queen drop then. Or just a Roach push with a Queen drop at company, and obviously no Evo chamber. Reaper coming through, looking for the scout here. Gonna see the Roach roar in the back. Great information then from Clem already. Figuring that out right away. And the Stimpack continues up. A couple of bunkers are still coming through as well. Clem's just gonna retreat back. I mean, with the bunkers coming up, Clem is gonna ready his defense pretty nicely so far. Grenades. I love what Clem does to always buy time against these attacks, make this as easy a chance as he's going to get to be able to make something happen. As obviously the Queens and the Overlord going to come through. The Reapers and the Hellions still just stood there for a moment. Clem, his bunkers are about to be done. Readying up this defense as the Banshee obviously will have some work to do as well. Rook has a third hatch behind this, but this is not just a, oh, this isn't going to work out, let me just go home situation. Like, he needs to do some fairly serious damage on this. Honestly, Roach Route just stays down the low ground. Stimpack is about to finish. Again, tanks, marines, medevacs all building. Dragon's going to shoot Overlord. Take a bunch of damage as well. Overlord going to fall here in a second, so Overlord will go down. That will be, I mean, interesting to see how he's going to clean up the creep, because there's going to be creep right outside his front door, so that is going to at least keep him a little bit busy. A little bit joined up here. Let's see, Corrosive Piles coming down. That medevac already taking some damage, so a few shots coming through right off the bat. SCV's still coming over. Just going to see a few corrosive files coming down there. Again, little bits of extra damage being done. Roach Ravager Carapace coming up. The Overlords are still producing through. And Ravagers will continue along the bottom for the moment. More corrosive files. Yun's going to get kept away. Order Command going to get jumped on for a couple of seconds as well. As we do have ourselves the defense still very much so going to be there. 1-1 upgrades continue through. The Roach Ravager still coming into play as well. IO moving around. Then Ravager's going to continue up. A few Marines taking shots. Actually going to dive a bit deeper on this. Corrosive files dropping, tanks firing. Roach Ravager keeps moving through as Rogue is, at the very least, keeping map control, right? And I mean, Clem is, going to struggle a little bit here, apparently, to take this third base. Tanks do not get corrosive file down quickly, but Clem's going to start running out of units. Rogue, doubling the army supply and more, is actually pushing through on this, and 11 SCVs down. This third base going to have to evacuate, and Rogue's just going to win the game on this push right there. And Rogue is going to be up 2-1 over Clem. This is taking some interesting twists and some interesting turns, guys. So we are going to have game 4 here, sorry. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player is Rogue. Taking on in the top right, the red Terran player from Team Liquid, it is Clem. Funky build out of Rogue in that last game, but it worked, man. Just kept on pushing on that third of Clem, and interesting. I wonder if Clem just need to be way more cautious about taking the third place in the first place. Could have been definitely a bit of a different way to set things up. Overlord of Rogue moving to the top right-hand side. Early in this game, we get settled with nothing too wild going on, just a Reaper opening from Clem as well. Would be quite the upset if Rogue was to knock Clem out. That'd actually be really sick. I'm for it. I didn't think it was going to happen coming into today, so it isn't really something I talked about. I didn't think it was really a possibility. I thought Rogue could be competitive, take a map. I really thought that was going to be the extent, but now up 2-1, anything's possible. Kind of crazy that Rogue has to get to like a 2-1 lead for me to believe he has a chance in this series, though, isn't it? It kind of says how much respect I'm putting on Clem's name right now. As we do have this game just setting up nicely. Nothing crazy yet. As the Reaper continues to move over. Gonna hop up into the main base. Link speed is coming through, and the hatchery third building from Rogue as well in the triangle. Alcyone, big map. I might have to play a big game, but I don't know if he's going to be necessarily against the idea of playing a big game. I think he'd actually be kind of okay if that's what it came down to. That's what he had to try and play for. I think he'd be all right with that concept. Well, again, a couple of Hellions coming about. SCV's production. There's the Hellions and the Reaper coming back over. It's going to be seeing a couple of Queens going to come back onto the third base. Love that we're seeing the Roach roaring again. Definitely seems like the right idea for Rogue if he's going to have a competitive chance in this match. Roaches do seem to be kind of the way to go for that. Hellions still moving about. Just going to see again a few drones on the way. The lab building up. Spore crawlers coming through. Gonna get rid of a queen. As Banshee needs to back it up. Cloak's not ready for a few seconds, so just want to lose it. We actually do get transfusion on that low HP queen as well, so Clem, all that damage done does not really count for much in the end. Good clutch defense from Rogue. As now Hellions morphing a Hellbats, but because the Hellions took so much damage before now, is this really going to have much hope? Spellcrawler needs to relocate and the Queen Banshee will be seen, and yeah, this does not really go anywhere at all for Clem. Investment into the armory for the Hellbats does not seem like it's really been that worthwhile. He had more success with the Hellion Banshee part of this than the actual Hellbat part of that, so... He's going to find the Banshee again there. Takes a lot of damage. Continued in there just a step too far. And that's going to be a very hurt Banshee. He's probably going to have to pull that back now. He's chasing. Hellion going to go down. Hellion's back around that left side. Roach be coming up on one. Missiles and carapace upgrades continue through as well. Just see the Hellion and Roach. Hellion and Reaper, sorry, around the left. Reaper's going to jump into the natural, try and see a bit of what's going on as well. There's an infestation pick coming up from Rogue, so already moving towards the idea of hive tech would be great information to have for Clem. Get an inkling of where this game is at and how far along Rogue is always nice to have, but yeah, he didn't really get into the main base or anything there, but he did get into the natural, which is where the infestation pit is, so he actually does get that info. It's like I say, a little bit of a timer in Clem's mind now as to when hive might be online and as to when he might start expecting other kind of tech choices and so to start cropping up in this game. Hellions and Banshees continue to come across. Just going to be having ourselves the 1-1 missile and carapace upgrades coming through as well. Again, hive just starting up. Hydrogen coming through. Those Banshees continue to fire. 4 drones already going down, so again, a few more shots continue to come in there. It's going to be 5 drones killed. It's going to be seeing the Hellion showing up. There's going to be seeing a couple more drones continue to come about as well. I mean, there's going to be 6 drones dead, so some damage from Clem, but not the craziest, and it's obviously not the earliest either. Definitely worth noting there's extra drones going online. The hive's still coming up as well. All that goodness coming through right now. Once again, just taking this Roach Ravager into Lurker style. Marines continuing through, looking good. Roach Ravager Queen going to step forward a little bit here. Marines going to have to load up and back away in the medevacs. Pulling back for the moment, doesn't get back over here and actually go jump onto this hatchery, so going to get involved there. Hatchery's going to get cancelled up pretty much immediately, so that doesn't last long at all. Still got a couple Vipers on the way, so that's going to be the Hive tech coming through a lot, as well as obviously Lurker upgrades. Also need Hive, so and all of that out from there as the Marines go chasing an Overlord down. And the Vipers and the Lurkers make this a later stage game. Clem was doing fine back on Dynasty, the last larger map we played that got to this kind of point. As long as he doesn't let the Niduses up, I think Clem was honestly in an okay position in that game. Niduses is what really killed him, so just needs to be super careful about those counterattacks. You keep Rogue off of those, I think Clem really does have a... well, honestly just advantage in the later game, and we know how good Clem can be in this matchup. Just don't give Rogue the easy outs and the easy ways to take massive advantages, right? Tanks will siege, Bio moves up. Thank you, Wurzak, by the way, for the 77-month resub. As our Lurkers and our Vipers move back over in this direction, just gonna have our Roach Hydra moving through as well. Parasite Bomb coming about. The Medivacs are super low, just about escaping away currently. Able to stay out of reach right now as they head all the way up to the top. Again, a 3-3 upgrades coming through from Clem, a few more command centers coming out also, so all of that continues to bring into action. Bio steps up. There's enemy Lurkers there immediately to turn those Marines around, and again, the Nidus network continues into play. Make a double Nidus network added on, so Rogue is extremely serious about trying to get those Niduses up. He knows just how good it will be for him if he can successfully get Niduses into Clem's bases. We've seen examples of it in this game. We know it already just as a baseline kind of fact that if a Nidus goes into your mineral lines on your base and into your production, you're going to have a bad time. So all of that is very much so figured out. So I just want to take a moment. I actually forgot to come back to the donation. Hypochondriac, thank you so much for the £25 donation. Says thank you for all the GGs you provided. Thanks so much for the donation, mate. Sorry, I forgot to come back to that after the little break it took. Apologies on that one. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support, mate. Thank you so much for subbing and donating today. Thank you. Marine Ghost, Medivac, back over the right. Ranzina coming through. Little Snipe going to take out an Overseer. Roaches in the bottom right moving around as well as we continue to try and Nidus just all over the place. 4 additional Lurkers on the way. Overlords, 13 of them. Rogue just prepping for a future scenario, I guess, as he gives up some of these Roaches. I imagine he's replacing those with Lurkers and other units instead of those, as we actually have the Overseers flying forward. Rogue does love his Overseers. Oh no, Clem, he lets the Nidus up in the main base again. This is going to be big. As the Lurkers begin to burrow, the Sim City is going to work against Clem. He brings his Ghosts and his Marines into play. You can see the Snipe starting to come down, as we do have Lurkers starting to hit a little bit. 14 SCVs down immediately. Another Nidus coming up further to the bottom side of this now as Rogue. I wonder if he'll try and save this position. No, he just decides to evacuate the Lurkers as too many units were coming through for him to really deal with. Clem at least dealing this with this group of Lurkers this time around. Obviously, in the previous game, there was moments where those Lurkers were just not dealt with at all. Took an extremely long time. Next Nidus will go down as well. Clem cleans up in his main, and he doesn't really lose that much. Some SCVs dropped. At this point, I don't know if Clem's even... okay, he's actually rebuilding SCVs, so he will re-establish some of that economy. I was wondering if he might just not go back into SCVs and just continue to invest into just pure army and just kind of run with the larger army supply on the map. But we are kind of playing a game here as well for Clem where it's not going to end quickly, so kind of running around with a large army right now may not be the way to play this. Instead, let's get us, keep the economy strong, let's keep the mining going, let's work our way through those mineral patches, let's mine out some of these bases, so we can get towards, mining the external bases as well. So that's the plan right now, rather than just trying to take a massive army and force fights onto over half a map of creep spread. Because there is a crap ton of creep spread right now. Reckless fire, missile turret's going down. The orbital's still taking some shots. The roaches on that right-hand side going to try and step up a little bit as well in toward the back of this mineral line. Lurkers are going to shoot the ghosts fire back and deal some damage. A couple of lurkers go down immediately. Second's going to be firing. Overseer's taking some damage, so some shots continue to come about now. We'll have ourselves the scan coming through as well. Again, the lurkers just going to get burrowed up. The bio's still moving through. A couple more ghosts coming in. Lurkers will burrow up one more time as we just have ourselves the Nidus Network going to get denied. Then Marines are going to fight back again. The Lings get turned back over in the other direction. Nidus Network back to the main base, setting up also. Marines are still stepping through. These Niduses are coming out in the main. At the same time, Lurker step forward from Rogue on the front, so Clem now has multiple Lurker packs to deal with here. Rogue is just moving into the siege tank fire, not afraid apparently. As the Lurkers in the main base are going to get overrun though, so Clem's defense there is looking optimal. And still, overall, I think pretty much minimal losses for Clem, all things considered. He does lose this base. It's probably the biggest loss he has in this scenario. As I love the Overseers just spamming another round of changelings forward. Rogue loves just an overly crazy amount of Overseers in this matchup. He currently has 31 of them. And he's been doing this consistently as well, as obviously Overseers are good things to snipe down. Like, they cost you money. Clem's like, well, if you build that many, surely you want that many. So yes, I will use my snipes to clean up a few kills for. You do that a few times over, and Rogue definitely probably will think about building more again, so it's not wasted snipes. As snipes see on the Lurkers, and Rogue is going to get pushed back. Clem is able to wrestle him out from that 12 o'clock base. Nidus there going down too. Had another Nidus popping up. It's being crazy with the Nidus networks all around the map so far. Consistently getting into Clem's mineral lines and main bases as well have definitely created issues. A little bit of bias stemming up. The ghosts are going to be there. Lurkers trying to take position once again. Hope lifts off, and here come the Lings, Veins, Hydras, and Lurkers all stepping through as well. So in they go. And as we step forwards onto this, Banelings are going to roll up this ramp. Just going to have our siege tanks firing away. Also, all the Banes dropping. 14, 17, 19 SCVs going down as the orbital command floats away. Clem just lost a lot. The Lurkers do some serious damage. Obviously, the worker count especially taking a big hit. 42 workers for him. He is going to start rebuilding some. I think Clem's issue is the fact that currently this is just him trying to take a 5th base. The fact he's got to do so much to try and take a 5th base is clearly becoming a problem for him. That's absolutely netting him a whole bunch of issues, as we do see the Banes, Lings, and Hydra's going to turn around again. The Banes actually maybe going to get some ghosts here as they don't split backwards, and Clem's just going to be typing GG. He's not going to leave the game. He retypes the GG, but Rogue is going to do it. He's going to take the upset as Rogue knocks down Clem and takes the 3-1 victory. Wow, if that was on my list of things that happened today, I would have slapped myself and told